are currently situated in the Hans-Rosbaud-Studio of SWR, located on the Funkhöhe here in Baden-Baden, in the expansive recording hall.
If you ask me about the acoustics of the Rosbaud-Studio now, I really can't stop raving. Because the acoustics are just outstanding in every way. That's all there is to it.
The Rosbaud-Studio is most definitely an exceptionally special place because for us the direct sound and diffuse sound are in an optimal balance. We are very, very sad that this is now being demolished, and we would have been willing to make some compromises for it.
Today we are gathered here for a final production for SWR2 featuring the vocal ensemble Rastatt under the baton of Holger Speck. 3 beautiful Bach cantatas in specially reconstructed forms.
We are actually now at the final production in the Hans-Rosbaud-Studio in Baden-Baden. And now, of course, the whole thing takes on a special significance, also for me personally.
Construction began in 1949.
The studio has been around since the 50s. Back then, the situation was that there was basically no music in the archives.
Hans-Rosbaud-Studio, as far as I remember, has been called that since 1962 after the death of Hans Rosbaud.
I've often recorded with musicians around here who've mentioned that they've played on the trombone for a total of 8 hours straight and somehow still managed to feel quite fresh.
The response that came from the room, this feedback, this ability to control oneself, this ability to hear oneself, yes, that's what musicians wish for, and that's why the atmosphere here was always good. I really believe that. One celebrity after another graced the spotlight. Stockhausen used 8 speakers, arranged in a circle and numbered from 1 to 8. It was consistently intriguing to seamlessly incorporate Stockhausen's counting method into our system here in the control room. We have 5.1 speakers, so actually just 5 in a circle. And if you try to divide 8 by 5, well, that doesn't really work out. Hans Rosbaud wanted to simply show the structure of the new music. He wanted to show the fine structure. And for that, you need a clear space, precise acoustics, and dry bass tones. That is basically the quality of the Hans-Rosbaud-Studio to this day. We can mic the basses and they come through sounding crisp and sharp, much like you're familiar with from today's pop music production. Since I joined SWR here in Baden-Baden, which was way back in 1999, we have primarily engaged in production mainly without the presence of any audience. We have absorbing seats below, which are relatively well designed. So whether they are fully occupied or half occupied doesn't make much of a difference for the acoustics.
Unfortunately, this studio is being demolished because the entire site on this side of Hans-Bredow-Straße was sold.
We have discovered that the Sennheiser microphones, for instance, work exceptionally well with the LAWO preamps, producing precisely the kind of sound we envision. That's something that, as I've come to realize, doesn't function quite as well with every single preamp.
On one occasion, I had only a very brief moment to make a sound adjustment. It happened to be something from Strauss. I loaded that project file into the console. You can very easily call up these snapshots here and quickly retrieve them from another production. I was truly amazed and deeply impressed. The sound was magnificent without any adjustments. I was completely blown away by the timpani's rich resonance and the lovely ambience of the room. I've always considered myself a member of the orchestra. And the beautiful thing about our collaboration here at the Rosbaud-Studio with the SWR Orchestra was always that the feedback was always reciprocated. Well, I could wholeheartedly see myself as an integral part of the orchestra, and that was truly very nice and rewarding over the years.
We have a radio studio in Freiburg where we can record. There is a recording hall in Kaiserslautern that is very good. In Stuttgart, there are 1 or 2 possibilities as well. However, we are somewhat orphaned regarding our upcoming productions.
Because we find the space so valuable, we have recorded impulse responses with great effort. So we have captured impulse responses in the 7.0.4 format. There are 7 microphones positioned in a circle and 4 microphones facing upwards towards the ceiling. Plus an artificial head in addition to a sound field microphone. The space as such is definitely well documented.